You're probably thinking to yourself, are these trainer toolkits really worth your money? Are you new to the Pokemon TCG? Are you a veteran and looking to enhance your decks by any means necessary? So let's go over these 3 reasons why you should invest in this trainer's toolkit. Not invest, you should buy. Buy and open, don't invest. Why would you invest in this? Don't invest in cardboard. Let's get cracking. Or, sorry, let's get to talking, then cracking. Different angle here, guys. Shout out Tabletop Village for getting me this trainer's toolkit box and for helping fund this video, basically. So again, shout out Tabletop Village. You guys rock. If you guys are ever in Seattle, go ahead and check them out. I've done tons of videos with them. I'm always at their shop and it's just a great atmosphere to be a part of. You should also listen to me because that shop like pumps out regional to world's competitors yearly. Like people go there to compete and win. So I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm not good, but I fight the best of the best. These trainer toolkits have been around for quite a while. I believe they started around Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield era. I remember getting my first one. I think it was a 2019 or 2020 kit. It had Dedenne as the main promo Pokemon in there. But this one's the 2024 edition with Squawkabilly. So this video can apply to the current meta or future metas because not every trainer toolkit is the same. So why is it great? Well, first of all, bulk. If you're looking for bulk, whether you're old or new, there's a good amount of bulk here to get you started on what you need, from iconic trainer staples to a couple of those Pokemon that you might need in the future. And with this trainer toolkit, it encourages the testing aspect of the game. So you're given like a pocket, a handful of different trainer cards, Pokemon, try to integrate them into your deck, see what works, see what doesn't. You don't always have to follow those top tier meta decks on like Limitless TCG. I mean, I do, but you can always change 1 or 2 or 5 cards for that matter, as much as you want. There's a variance of cards in here, give it a shot. And the final tip is free gear and packs. Can't really complain. Well, I wouldn't use the word free. I'd say bundled gear and packs. You should really only buy this box once. You don't really need to buy it more than once. You get a variety of 4 different packs at the moment of this recording. So we'll go over those 3 tips in depth and we'll go ahead and crack this open as we review them. So now, let's get to cracking. So shout out again to Tabletop Village. Now let's get to cracking this open. So my first trainer's toolkit, like I mentioned, came out in like 2019 or 2020, and I was new to the game and collecting in general. So I had a lot of bulk, but I really didn't have any semblance of what was good in terms of like cards to use. Sure, I played live here or there, but I really needed something to kind of get me started. And this is where that trainer's toolkit came in. It provided those like key bulk cards, those key supporters and Pokemon and trainers to integrate into my deck. And that's how I got Coral into Pokemon as well, through the playing aspect. So cool tip, I heard if you like just buy the code cards and you scan like a ton of them, you get loaded out with a ton of money on live. So buy these for like 50 cents and just buy a ton of them and you're good to go. And the first tip I mentioned, it's great for starting out with bulk. Before we get into that, let's just quickly review the contents. Here's the bulk of cards. Here's the card sleeves, your markers, burn and poison, your dice, and your 4 packs. You get 2 Stellar Crown, 1 Twilight Masquerade, and Temporal Forces. Now this might change if you have a different year box. And a trainer's toolkit, deck builder guide. Starting out with bulk, let's review these kind of support cards you can find in here. So there's going to be a mix of Pokemon and trainer and support cards. Now, if I can find a way to open this. I know I could get my X-Acto knife that I just had out, but I don't want to like scrape the cards. All right, so when you're looking at building decks, as you may or may not know, you kind of want to look for the staples of your draw support, your energy search, and your kind of card reset. So each of these trainer toolkits will have cards that sort of support that. And they might have a little more, like such as healing or stadiums or different factors. So in this current meta, Squawkabilly is your go-to guy. Now in your box it might look a little different if you're watching this in the future. If you're watching this and you're opening an older box, then you're probably playing with outdated cards, but it might be okay if you're playing with like outdated rules where you're not necessarily playing current rotation cards. So Squawk and Seize is Squawkabilly's ability, and it's basically discard your hand and draw 6. And then you'll get into a couple supporters and then items, and it'll kind of just vary of what's actually in there. They don't have a solid way to sort of organize them. So let's go ahead and actually count and separate the supporters from items to tools if they have any. Okay, so just from a nasty standpoint of my sorting, there's a lot more item cards, and then supporter cards are the second most, and then there's your special energy and tools are about the same along with your Pokemon. So there's always going to be those iconic cards like Boss's Orders, and there's only one of them in here, right? So do keep that in mind. If you're looking for like key supporter cards, you're only going to get a few, if not one of them per box. So if you really want to get like a bulk of Boss's Orders, you're better off buying them as singles or opening packs, or looking through your bulk for that matter. But these will again just have at least one of each for the key staples for supporters. So Boss's Orders, very common. Explorer's Guidance is more geared towards those ancient style type of decks like Roaring Moon or just ancient box in general. Professor Turo's Scenario, there's a lot of them out there. And Iono for resetting your card hand and your opponents and being kind of that late game disruption. I don't think I explained what Turo does. So he's good just to remove those Pokemon liabilities on your bench, or to heal your Pokemon, put them back in your hand, and then put it back on your bench. And of course, Arven. Good old Arven is for your trusted item and tool search. Professor Sada's Vitality is good for that energy, retrieval, and draw support. Professor's Research resets your hand, and Lana's Aid helps kind of reset your bench. So again, these are all staples. These are pretty much meta supporter cards. Trainer's Toolkit, they don't skimp out on what you need just to get started. They won't have necessarily multiples of what you might need, but they'll get you there. They'll get you like 60% of the way there. These supporter cards are really good. And if you're looking just for like 1 or 2 more copies, it's always just good to have. Yes, buy singles to add to your collection, but this is a great start, especially if you're new to deck building. And if you're a veteran here, that's totally okay too, because you know you're gonna need more of these Boss's Orders. Let's go over the item cards. This is a very good lineup here because you have your search with the Pokeballs or the Ultra Balls and Nest Balls, your Counter Catchers, Techno Radar. Oh, sorry, there's 2 Boss's Orders. I misplaced. So 2 of every card. There's 2 of every supporter card. If you look here at the item cards, these are all very much, staples in the meta. Like Super Rod, I'm pretty sure I'm missing like 1 or 2 of them for my current Raging Bolt deck. Like, these are the cards I need. These are the cards I'm looking for. Special Energy like Reversal and Jet. Jet Energy is super handy on rotating your Pokemon in and out of your bench, especially if you require on multiple abilities and active spots. And tools like Evolution and Rescue Board are always handy. They don't have Bravery Charm in this box, but that's okay. You can at least replace it with Evolution or a Rescue Board. You don't always need a Bravery Charm. Everyone's deck might be a little different, so there's always going to be a little variance. Now Tatsugiri, he's kind of came into the meta scene during the mid-Miraidon phase. And Ditto, he's actually become a real big proponent in Raging Bolt. And this is actually kind of crazy because I was looking for Ditto, could not find him in my bulk. I know I have him, could not find him. He's like in my bulk in my storage. My buddy, shout out JPEG, he gave me a Ditto from his 151 collection, but these are super hard to find, especially when you can't find 151. You see that Mew symbol in the bottom left? when you can't find 151, you can at least find Ditto there, here in this Trainer's Toolkit. Again, if you're new at starting the TCG and your bulk is a mess, work off of this toolkit. Buy this toolkit, see what they have, and then look through your bulk. Compare your bulk and see, do I have these cards? And if you do, gather them up. Start making piles of nest balls. Start making piles of ultra balls, of counter catchers, and keep stacking them. And same with you veteran players. You guys already know what's good and what's not. But again, this is just good to have in rotation. Plus you get a nice little storage box. It's more cards. Number 2, this deck helps encourage testing, like experimenting, I mean. So not every deck is the same. So if you're looking on Limitless TCG for the latest deck ideas, you might notice you're missing 1 or 2 cards. And sure, you can always buy them online through TCG Player or visit your local shop to pick it up. But if they happen to not have it at your local shop or you don't have it in your bulk and you're waiting for that card in the mail, experiment with what they have in here. See what you can swap out. See what you can replace on that meta deck. Should you add an extra boss's order? Do they not use Arvin? Add an Arvin. See why they don't use an Arvin, or see why they could use an Arvin. Maybe add a Professor's Research if you find that if you're not running into the proper cards fast enough. There's so many options you could do with the various cards in this Trainer's Toolkit. That's pretty much it. That segment is a lot shorter than the first one. And then the final one, of course, the free packs. Right here. Free packs and gear. So let's go ahead and bring those out. So you will find these in any like league battle deck or theme deck or battle deck in general. These aren't special, but this toolkit guide is actually pretty handy if you're a beginner. Kind of tells you kind of the basics of deck building and what you should really look for and the common Pokemon and combinations you can do with these cards. For example, they straight up tell you how to build a Roaring Moon EX deck. It's not the most optimal, and this is actually kind of out of rotation because this uses cards pre-rotation, but still pretty handy. So if you're new to it, give it a read. If you're a veteran, it doesn't hurt to skim through it. These are quality sleeves. Use them for a game or two, and then they'll probably go bye-bye, but you know, they're good emergency sleeves. I don't own multiples of these, but they're good emergency sleeves if you need to re-sleeve your whole deck during a tournament. Or if you like, just keep them in your, I don't know, go bag, and whenever you play a build-in battle, you go ahead and use these sleeves. The dice, they're fun mint color in this box. I don't know. I'm kind of a dice connoisseur. I might swap these into my current dice rotation. And then you got, of course, these packs right here. You can't go wrong. These are all competitive booster packs. Like, people are building Terra decks in Stellar Crown with Terrapagos, Twilight Masquerade, you got Greninja, Dragapults, and those illustration rares, and of course, not to mention the Ogre Pawns. And then Temporal Forces, you got Iron Hands. Who else? Who else is in Temporal Forces? A bunch of items and tools and supporter cards. This is a good cast of the most recent, at the time, competitive packs to buy. This isn't Prismatic Evolutions, this isn't Paldean Fates, this is what it's meant to be, competitive Pokemon booster packs. So let's go ahead and crack these open. Alrighty, so I think we'll end on Twilight Masquerade simply because that's my favorite set as of late. One of my favorite sets as of late. We'll start with Temporal Forces. Okay guys, now this is where we kind of lead off of the importance of this, not build and battle box, this Trainer's Toolkit. This is more so the chance base. This is more so the real meat and guts of fun. Let's be honest guys, opening packs is the best feeling in the world. So let's go ahead and achieve that happiness. Chase the chase. You pick up what I'm putting down? Sandy Shocks. He's kind of out of meta, but he's still pretty handy in Raging Bull. Hand Trimmer, that is a low-key a good card. So if you pull a Hand Trimmer, try to integrate that into your deck. Late game, super helpful. I've had opponents who had like 15, 20 card hands reduced down to 5. Ruin their day. Rabska, Reverse Hollow Slugma, Reverse Hollow Cutiefly, and Iron Thorns for the holo. All right, Temporal Forces. I feel like I haven't had too much success with Temporal Forces as of late, but I usually just get them as singles in like collection boxes or boxes like this where there's not a higher chance of a hit rate where it's all Temporal Forces cards, you know? Okay, so Stellar Crown. Love me some Stellar Crown. I'm looking to get more Terapagos cards because it would be neat to build a Terapagos EX deck, a Terapagos box, if you will, because that's currently making the rounds and people are very much enjoying that build right now. Mewtwo, Lacey, Celebi, the Onion, Sparkling Crystal. You know, I'm surprised these toolkits don't have an ace spec in them. I'm hoping for the 2025 edition they'll have ace specs, because Sparkling Crystal is pretty handy for Dragapult. Well, people are using either the trolley or the reset stamp for Dragapult, but you know, some variants. If you don't have the reset stamp and you have a Sparkling Crystal, go ahead and use that, it's good enough. Clang and Alcremie. Again, ace specs. Experiment. If you don't have that ace spec in your bulk, but you have a ace spec, just go ahead and see how it works. You'll get it eventually, but as you bide time, test with different stuff. And people will say, why don't you have this ace spec? Well, I just simply don't, and that's all you have to say. All right, second pack of Stellar Crown. What can we get here? We have Bombardier, Electabuzz, Lechonk, Raboot, Pangoro, Eldegoss, Salazzle, Diancie, Lumineon, and Hydrapple EX, and we get a full art here. Now, Hydrapple saw a little bit of that rogue deck play, the rogue meta deck, the anti-meta deck, but he didn't really take off. But this is a great hit nonetheless. All right, guys. Last pack magic. We're like 2 for 3. Can we make it 3 for 4? I think so. I think Twilight Masquerade, we're due for something here. Boom. Boom. Okay, guys. Whirlipede, Crawdaunt, Farfetch'd, Torkoal. My camera's about to overheat. I'm gonna make this quick. Kilowattrel, Sandslash, Lucian, Ariados, Froakie, and Alakazam. Okay, you know, 2 out of 4 packs, that's not bad. And I get a little bit of playable. I get a nice pull. And I'm sure there's more playables in here I might need for any other deck. Not a bad selection. So what are your thoughts on the Trainer's Toolkit? It's great for starting out with bulk. You're given a ton of cards. Supporters, items, tools. No stadium, no ace specs, strangely enough. And Pokemon. Those Pokemon are pretty dang handy. And hey, if you're like 75% of the way completing your meta deck, but you're waiting for those cards in the mail, or waiting for your shop to have stuff, or you're trying to pull it, experiment with the cards in this toolkit, replace them, and see why those cards are so crucial in the deck. Or just try to play a variant until you're able to get those cards going. And then, you know, the gear and the cards, always a nice and welcome addition. I can never say no to more sleeves, and 4 packs is a decent amount. It's $30 altogether, so you're paying essentially $10 for those essential tools, items, and Pokemon. And some sleeves and some dice. Like, those are thrown in pretty much as freebies. So for an additional $10, it's not bad. $30 overall for MSRP. Trainer's Toolkit has a lot to offer. If you're new, I highly recommend getting it. And if you're a veteran and you haven't bought the latest toolkit, just buy it once. You don't need to buy multiples, just buy it once. It can help marginally add to your bulk of competitive cards, or it might replenish some that you might miss, because you don't want to be always swapping out Arvins from deck to deck to deck. You always want to have that set of 4, 3, or 2 Arvins. You don't need more. You don't want to be short on Arvins. Are you guys currently considering the Trainer's Toolkit? Let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. You like this video? You hate this video? You want a toolkit? You're considering a toolkit? Who knows? Oh, you know, here's a good tip, you guys. On Pokemon Center, as of this recording, they're selling like the 2020 toolkit or 2021 toolkit. They have older packs, like older as in like Sword and Shield era. They're not rare by any means, but they're out of print for the most part. So if you're looking for like slightly older packs and you're like a collector, go ahead and get them. It's like, sure, $30, but you know, more packs, right? If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos in the future. I think I swapped those words around. Videos and content. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like for more content in the future. And with that being said, my name is Kevin TCG, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Llame más. Saco mi cadena.